I've got another question that I want to throw to you. It came up on the show yesterday. And I don't know if you boys have seen, like, Chelsea and Arsenal fans are really like at it online at the minute. Saka and Palmer, a bit of a war with each other. And I'm afraid it's to LB first. Which of the two is going to win the Premier League first, in your opinion, from now moving forward?
Oh, I think I have to say Saka's more likely to win it.
God, thank God for that. I was going to say, wow, the amount of times you've slated the Chelsea ownership, man, that would have been awful.
Yeah, no. I have to say Saka's more likely to win it quicker than Palmer, just because Arsenal look better than Chelsea. What I would say, yeah, is that Chelsea, I feel like they've got owners who've made a lot of mistakes, but they are willing to back it with the cash, aren't they? I mean, they spent 1.5 billion in a couple of years, so they are willing to back it. So I still go back to the point that, like, I just don't understand why Chelsea didn't sanction that Osimhen deal. I really do not get it, because I think if they would have got Osimhen, maybe they could have blown my expectations out the water this season. Maybe they would have been in a title race. I cannot for the life of me understand why they turned that down. And I know Jackson, people are telling me Jackson's doing well this year, whatever, but he's no Osimhen. But yeah, listen, Palmer, I've said it all along. I think Palmer's a better player than Saka. I think he's technically better than Saka. But Arsenal right now, they're not a million miles away from winning the Prem. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say Saka.
Can you envision a world, Potsy, where Chelsea take over Arsenal and win the Premier League again before you do? There are people now that are starting to believe that after Chelsea start, and I'm not just talking Chelsea fans. We had a Madrid fan on the show last night. A lot of people in the comment section agreeing, saying they can see a world where that happens, a team that's built to win versus a team that bottles it typically. Can you see that happening?
No, not at the moment. And if it does happen, then heads need to roll at Arsenal, because that's the shambles. I can't see it happening. I'm not getting on the overhype chain just yet. I wasn't very impressed against Forest and Palace and Bournemouth, where Chelsea had played and struggled. And obviously they ended up beating Bournemouth, but due to a saved penalty, they couldn't beat Forest. They couldn't beat Palace. They're still having problems. They still don't have a goalkeeper, I rate. They still are quite leaky defensively. They still don't have a centre forward. They need to get the balance right in their midfield. There's still a lot for them to do. Arsenal got the better team right now. Arsenal, I think, have got the better players, although Chelsea fans will have you told you that there's only one or two that gets in the whole of their squad, which is, I think, nonsense. I don't see Chelsea overtaking Arsenal. As for Palmer, I think he's clearly head and shoulders their best player. I mean, above anybody else there, it is quite clear how much better he is than everybody else there. And he's got a great chance of taking them into the Champions League this season. But I still don't think they're good enough to win a title yet. And it might be that in a few years' time they will. Maybe next season you look at them getting their recruitment right. Maybe they go to that next level. But first of all, let's see if they can get into the Champions League this year before we start talking about a title race, because I think it's way too early to be talking about how Chelsea can overtake Arsenal and start winning trophies before them. Look, if they win a trophy this season, whether it be an FA Cup or a League Cup, and Arsenal don't, then I think they can start giving us banter, unless it's the Conference League, because they might as well just give that to Chelsea now, because if they don't win that, that is absolutely embarrassing, to be fair. I don't think Chelsea should be able to show their face if they don't win that competition, crikey. But yeah, I think that can definitely be a talking point. As, oh my God, Chelsea been a mess and they've still won something before Arsenal. That could happen this season if we don't take things seriously. But I think to actually go for a Premier League title ahead of Arsenal, I just don't see that for a couple of years, man. I don't see that for a couple of years. And I think Arsenal need to win something in the next 2 years, or the Premier League or Champions League.
2 years? Why not this year? Bro, surely it's got to be this year, man.
No, Champions League as well. I said Champions League as well.
Surely you have to win something this year, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, I said that. You said
2 years. You said 2 years.
Yeah, I said we need to win a Premier League, or the Champions League in the next 2 years. That's what I think we should be doing.
So not this year. Maybe so if you don't win anything this year, that's still chill. You're going to give him one more year.
No. Champions League, man. Listen, bro. Listen, we've got to win the Premier League this year. Champions League, I'm not saying we must. Yeah, but we must win the Premier League. As for the Champions League next year, maybe. I just don't think the mentality's there yet. But
did you see the AFTV video where I think they had Ian Stone, the comedian, on, where he basically said about we shouldn't be judging. I'm paraphrasing here, he didn't use it word for word, but we shouldn't be judging Arteta purely on the trophies he wins. We've got to enjoy the journey. We're going up against this big Man City team. Like, what did you sort of make of what do you make of Arsenal fans that still have that mentality that it's still just about the journey, even at this point in that journey?
Well, listen, I big up if he's enjoying the journey, and I hope he's enjoying his picnic and he gets his blanket out and he gets his nice food and his drinks out and all that, and he goes and then buys his scarf and he goes to the pub and he has his drink. That's all lovely. But we've got to judge Arteta on trophies, right? When you're 5 years into a job, you've got to be judged on trophies now. You've got all the praise, and deservedly so, to challenge. I don't think there's any football fan that can go, don't really get what Arteta's doing. When's he going to challenge for a title? Because he's doing that now, right? But when are we going to get across the line is the next question for me. I think it has to be this year. I think it has to be a Premier League or a Champions League this year. For me, when I look at it, right, I'll be real. I understand where people come from when they say, oh, Manchester City are a good side, you know. Any other season, if they weren't in it, Arsenal would win the league. But I could have said that quite a few years ago about Sir Alex Ferguson, but I never did. I just said we've got to find a way to beat Sir Alex Ferguson, and we did. Why would I change now? Like, some people weren't old enough to grow up in that era. I get it, and I'm not slating the youngsters that support Arsenal now that haven't been through the Fergie Wenger era. But I never ever left Highbury going, do you know what? Second was really good this year, because that Fergie side, we just can't beat them. They've just done a treble. It's 99. Yeah, next few years I'll just take second place. And every time we do and we don't win a trophy, it don't matter because Fergie's here. So why would I do that with Pep now? Come on, man. I've been around. I've seen it. You just get better. Yeah, Klopp found a way to win a Premier League title. Ten Hag found a way to stop Pep from winning a trophy somehow. So how can Arteta not? For me, you've got to go in there and say, Arsenal are good enough now. Arsenal have got the team now. Do I think we're potentially a striker short? Maybe, but so are Manchester City. Manchester City don't have Rodri. KDB don't look like he's going to play majority of this season. It's a great time for us to win this trophy, man. We have to win the Premier League this season. And I think when you look at the Champions League, of course, I want to win that one. That's the one I absolutely would love to win, yeah, because we ain't got it. I think when you look at it, you have to win a trophy. You can't just be judged on trophies. It's about the journey and about where we've come from. I think sometimes you need that manager to get you across the line. Now, I will say this. If Mikel Arteta was to be removed from a post, we need to get somebody better than Mikel Arteta. There's no point removing Mikel Arteta and going and hiring De Zerbi, yeah, or Graham Potter. It's just a madness. You've got to go to that elite coach level. But I will say that there are managers out there that could take Arsenal to the next level and across the line. And sometimes people don't want to talk about that because it's like, no, it's Mikel Arteta FC, la, 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 la. It's Arteta or but. No, man, sometimes it ain't. Because Brendan Rodgers did a phenomenal job with Liverpool getting them into a title race. But they needed Klopp to win it. Yeah. Mark Hughes, if you remember, just couldn't get Man City across the line. Mancini walked in. Claudio Ranieri was doing quite well at Chelsea, come second. Then they got Jose Mourinho. Are we in that bracket? Maybe we are. We don't know yet. I pray he does it this year. We don't have to worry about that. But for me, we have to get across the line, man. We really do have to get across the line.
Bro, this is the thing, yeah, with that, some Arsenal fans.
Journey.
Nah, this is the thing with some Arsenal fans, man. Like, some of these Arsenal fans need to wake up and understand that, like, Arsenal are a good team now. The journey's over. It's time to deliver the trophies. How long is this journey going to go on for? The reason why people always talk about Arteta, right, and the reason why people speak about Arsenal is because they're now a good team and people are respecting Arsenal and saying, at what point are you guys actually going to demand trophies? You keep talking about phases. You keep talking about journeys. Yeah? What are you talking about? The journey was 2-3 years ago, getting Arsenal from Europa League football to title challenging. You now are there. You're there now. You're done. You're now ready to deliver the silverware. That's why you spent 750 million. That's why you gave Arteta time when he was going through a rough period. And that's why you didn't sack him. That's why you give him a new contract when everyone thought, we need to get rid of this guy. You backed him. That's why you backed him when he got rid of Aubameyang. That was the journey. You're not in a journey no more. The journey now is to win. So when people speak about it and says, oh, nah, it's not about it, the trophies. It might not have been about the trophies 2 years ago, whatever, when you was going through the journey. But it's about that now. It's about winning. It's about acting again like a big club. Yeah. And again, I think some fans forget that Arsenal are a huge club. Some fans forget that Arsenal should be challenging for titles. You ain't a banter club, man. You had your banter era. That's over. The time is now to deliver the trophies, mate. And that's why people speak about it. You know what I mean? And if you want to speak about journeys and all that, great. But it's about winning trophies, man.
If you want a journey, then go and follow Wrexham. Now that's a good journey. Go follow a journey like that,
Well,
because
I
this
think,
is a journey, man. It's crazy.
but I think, yeah. Look, I agree, boys. It is about winning the trophies from this point, and there's a journey within that. You just need to. The journey is important because you look back. You know, when you won your treble last season, I'm sure you did this, LB, where you look back and reflected on where you were as a football club, the takeover, the years, the turmoil, the ups and downs on your way to that point. And I think that there's always a journey that's going on, good, bad, or indifferent at a football club. But I just don't like this notion of, City are just so good, so we can't win any trophies. It's wrong. Arteta, and I've said this beginning of last season, same as this year, he is now being judged purely, in my opinion, on the trophies that he wins or does not win. Now, not winning a trophy does not equal you're rubbish or you're a complete failure or you need to be sacked. Context always needs to be applied. But Arsenal fans, I don't think, I sort of feel that some are pushing this journey narrative now because I think they like the comfortable space they've been in, where they're respected as a football team, but maybe there isn't quite the pressure to go on and win. And Arteta isn't necessarily... Listen, Arteta has been a very important component in your rebuild, but I don't believe your club is built in his image. I believe your club can survive without him. And when you go back and look at, and I know this will trigger some people that are watching, so I'm very, very sorry, Nick and other people out there. But when I say Arsenal is scary, people go back and watch some of those videos. It wasn't about Arteta specifically and the players right there and then. It was this notion of, even if Arteta fails, I believe the next manager comes in and they keep going. I don't believe Arsenal were going to lose Arteta for one reason or another.
Agreed.
And then they fall off. So let's just say Arteta does the quad this year and then Real Madrid take him. I don't think Arsenal are falling off. Let's say they win nothing this year and they go and get another manager. I don't think they're falling off. I don't think either way this Arsenal team is just going to collapse and fall away. You will bring in another very good coach, maybe one who's better, maybe one of similar level, and you're going to be there or thereabouts. I don't think Arsenal fans need to... Goes back to that conversation, why do Man United fans want to back a manager? We still have too many supporters that believe managers run the football clubs. They don't. Yes, they harvest more power over the course of time. But I'm telling you now, an even more important signing in some respects than Pep's replacement is this guy that's coming in for Cheeky, or Chakey, however you pronounce his name, because that's the man who day-to-day runs a club. Who makes sure that everything's in place and the foundation is there for Pep to be successful from. And I think that Arsenal fans, Man United fans alike, we live in this Wenger, Fergie era in our minds still, where the manager is the be-all and the end-all. And I'm not attacking. I think Arteta has done a fantastic job as a fledgling manager to get you to where you are now. But he has to be judged on getting you over the line, because Arsenal are one of the biggest teams in England. They're one of the biggest teams in the world. They want to be considered a European great. You're never going to be a European great unless you start winning Champions Leagues. So you need and you've got a team that's good enough to do it. Like, you generally have a squad that is good enough to win those two trophies. So yeah, when I heard that, I saw the clip, then I went and watched the video because I like full context. Good show, big up AFTV. But I just thought, no, you can't be in that space of just, I'm happy to be here. Do you know who that reminds me of? Spurs.
Yes. Facts.
I was doing Vox Pops outside Spurs Stadium in the build-up to the Champions League final against Liverpool. And when we were leaving, we're getting on the train. I was with the boys, and they said, who do you reckon is actually going to win it, Tel? I said, 100% after just doing that, it's Liverpool. And they're all like, laugh at why? I said, I wish I caught this on camera now. It would have been brilliant. I said, because they're all just happy that they're going. And there was nothing, that not one person said, I hope we do that. No one said, I hope Poch don't bring back Kane and we do this and we do that, and I hope we look at this tactically, and I hope we do this, and we've got to win this, and it will bring all this to life, and the stadium, and it was just, I'm so happy we're there. And straight away I felt that is going to get into that dressing room, and that is going to plant the seed that it's okay not to win. And I think that's a dangerous seed to plant in the dressing room of your players personally.
Yeah, facts. And this journey thing is bizarre because we've been going on a journey for 20 years since we last done. We've got into a new stadium, we've had new managers, we've had new regimes, we've had new board members, we've had new players. This has all been a journey for 20 years, not just 3 years. We've been trying to win this league for God knows how long now, And you would not know that Arsenal have gone that long without a Premier League title when you talk to the fan base. They're all so buzzing and amazing. This club's going to take us to new levels. And you must, as someone who wouldn't know football, walk in and go, God, that Arsenal fan base are buzzing. What have they won? Oh, we didn't win a league for 20 years. No, you're joking. The fan base, not this fan base, they're like buzzing. It's like, hang on a minute, let's look into reality here. The manager's done great. He's got us to the place where we need to be. And I hope he gets us across the line. If he doesn't, the fan base are going to cry. Now, look, I don't believe personally that it is if he doesn't win, he will go, because I think he's going to stay. He's going to sign a new deal. He'll be here for another 3 years at the bare minimum, right? So I don't think there's any point of having that conversation of, do you think he might get sacked? The answer is no, he won't. He will finish trophyless and not get sacked still, right? If he was to come 7th and trophyless, we might have that conversation and the Cronkies might pull the plug. But trust me, they love him. They've given everything to him. They're going to keep him there, but as long as he's challenging, right? So there's no point in thinking, oh my God, Arteta might get sacked here. What is the right thing to do? Well, let's be real. If you go 5 years without a trophy and you keep finishing trophyless, you are going to lose your job eventually. And it is going to be a fan base that says, yeah, you might have to be replaced then. So he's got to win a trophy. I think he's got to win the Premier League. I think it's in our greatest of years to win it. We've got the good squad to win it. Manchester City don't quite look right, but we've said that before many times. And, I personally believe that they will still win the league, because I think that we have shown in the last couple that we do slip up in games, and Manchester City are relentless. But I think that if we can stop those kind of games from slip ups, then I think Arsenal got a great chance, man. I really do. So yeah, I hope he can lift the trophy. I really do.